Hello students, welcome to our channel MASTER-SUBASH पुरी अष्टम नवम दशम समस्त विषय समस्त टेस्ट पाइन देखंतु नंबर 1 चैनल MASTER-SUBASH पुरी समस्त विषय समस्त टेस्ट पेपर अष्टम नवम दशम आज पढ़िबा दशम श्रेणी इंग्लिश नॉन डिटेल ए टाइगर इन द हाउस फास्ट नॉन डिटेल Ruskin Bond. The story writer Ruskin Bond. Question answer. Para 1. Part 1 question answer. Number 1. Who was Timothy and where was it discovered? Timothy was a little tiger. It was discovered by writer's grandfather when he was strolling down the forest path at some distance from the rest of the hunting part in the Terahi jungle near Dera. Why did grandfather accompany the party? The grandfather accompanied the party because he knew the forests of the Siolic Hills better than most people. Next, number 3. The writer says that the camp was very splendid. Why? Answer. The writer says that the camp was very splendid because the hunting camp consisted of 7 large tents and dining tent and a number of servant tents besides a good dinner. Number 4. Who discovered Timothy and when? The grandfather discovered Timothy when he was strolling down the forest path at some distance from the rest of the party. Next, number 5. Do you think grandfather was very bold? Why do you think so? Yes, I think grandfather was very bold. I think so because he picked the tiger cub up from among the intersect roots of a banyan tree. 6. What kind of a special quality did grandfather have? How was grandfather different from other members of the party? Grandfather had the special quality or distinction of being the only member of the party to have achieved any game. Dead or alive? Part 2 रो comprehension देखिबा. Number 1. Who are there in this part of the story? In this part of the story, we have there are Timothy, his 2 companions, the monkey Toto and the small mongrel puppy, besides the grandfather and the writer. Second question. Who named the tiger cub and who brought it up? The grandfather named grandmother, Jejamana deythile. The grandmother named the tiger cub and the cook Muhammad brought it. जेजमा ना देथिले मोहम्मद को रोसिया ना जो मोहम्मद सी ताकू लालित पालित करिथिला एवं खाइबा को देथिला प्रथमे. व्हाट वाज द डाइट ऑफ द टाइगर कप? तर खाइबा कोन थिला बाघ छुआटर. द डाइट ऑफ द टाइगर कप वाज रॉ मटन, कॉड लिवर ऑयल, पिजियंस एंड रैबिट्स. कंचा मांस, रॉ मटन, कंचा छेली मांस. हु वेयर टिमोथी कंपानियंस एट होम? घरे किए सांग थिले? At home, Timothy companions were Toto the monkey and the small mongrel puppy. What was the Timothy favorite amusement? How did the writer become Timothy's favorite? Timothy's favorite amusement was to walk secretly before anyone who should play with him. The tiger cub Timothy became writer's favorite by creeping closer and closer to him suddenly making an attack like attempt his feet, rolling over on his back and kicking what with delighted pretending to bite ankles. Next number 6. Next number 6. What kind of a change came over Timothy when he was 6 months old? When Timothy was 6 months old, he grew steadily but became his friendly. ମିଳାମିଶା ଧୀରେ ଧୀରେ ବନ୍ଦ କରୁଥିଲା, କମ୍ ମିଶିଲା. When out for the walk with the writer, he tried to steal away a cat or someone's small pet dog of flat nose, long hair. 7. Grandfather decided to transfer Timothy to a zoo. Why? Grandfather decided to transfer Timothy to a zoo because he sometimes at night would kill and eat up the flesh of the chicks. He in the meantime had grown devils. Next number 8. Where did grandfather take him and how? ଚିଡ଼ିଆଖାନା କୁ ତାକୁ କେତେବେଳେ କେମିତି ନିଆଗଲା? Where କେଉଁଠାକୁ ନିଆଗଲା? Grandfather took Timothy the tiger cub to a Lucknow based zoo. ଲକ୍ଷ୍ନୌରେ ଥିବା ଚିଡ଼ିଆଖାନାକୁ ନିଆଗଲା and a distance at 200 miles by traveling first class compartment with Timothy only. Next number part 3. Part 3 question answer देखिबा. Comprehension check. Part 3. 1. Read the last part of the story and say what it is about. The last part of the story about grandfather's farewell to Timothy, though it was some other tiger and is coming out the zoo with a scornful look at the keeper. Second question. When did grandfather visit the zoo and why? Grandfather visited the zoo after 6 months. Later, when he along with his grandmother were visiting relatives in Lucknow. Next number 3. Next number 3. 3. What did grandfather do at the cage? At the cage when Timothy was kept. At the cage where Timothy was kept, grandfather put his arm through the bars of the cage to feel the response of Timothy. 4. How did the tiger behave towards grandfather? Answer. As soon as grandfather put his arm through the bars of the cage, the tiger approached the bars and allowed grandfather to put both hands around his head. Number 5. What did he suggest the keeper? Answer. He suggested the keeper keeping the tiger in some other cage as the leopard kept frightening him. 6. Was the tiger really Timothy? How did you know this? No, the tiger wasn't actually Timothy. I know this when one the keepers told the grandfather in stammers, but sir, it is not your tiger. Next number. Why did the keeper say grandfather about the tiger? Answer. The keeper said to the grandfather about the tiger that the tiger was trapped in the hill only last month and it was really very dangerous. Number 8. What made grandfather give a scornful look to the keeper? Answer. Grandfather gave a scornful look at the keeper because he had earlier told him that the tiger inside the cage was not Timothy, much to the uneasiness of the old man. Next number 9. Which character in the story do you like most and why? I like the character of the grandfather in the story for his affection, love and understanding of instinct of animals' instinct because if it had not been so, the tiger would have certainly attacked him. Next, number 10. Can you give another title to the story? Give reason for your new title. The story can be entitled as Timothy, an animal of surprise. The title is so as because the entire story revolves around the tiger Timothy with several interesting and amazing qualities related to his life. Next questions. Long type question. Next long type question देखिए. Long type question 1. Answer the following question in about 50 words. परीक्षा एथुर गोटे 5 मार्किया एथुर गोटे क्वेश्चन आगुरी आसूला ए तार एमसीक्यू हो जाए कि एगुड़ भल पढ़ले तुम एमसीक्यू गुड़ाक सहज सुविधार कर. Was Timothy what made grandfather to bring him home with him? Timothy was a tiger cub. Grandfather accompanied a hunting expedition to the forests of the Siwalik Hills. Grandfather, having a fair amount of knowledge about the forest, joined the hunting party. He discovered a little tiger while strolling down the forest path at some distance from the rest of the party. The tiger cub was 18 inches long, hiding among the intricate roots of a banyan tree. Grandfather picked the tiger cub in the Terai jungle near Dera and brought him home because the cub was in difficult situation. Next, number 2. Who were Timothy's companion and how was he brought up at home? टिमोथीर सांग किए थे और से केमिति अणा जाइथिला घर को. टिमोथी द टाइगर कप वाज ब्रॉट अंडर द कंप्लीट केयर एंड कंफर्ट टू द राइटर्स ग्रैंडफादर. ग्रैंडफादर नेम्ड टाइगर कप टिमोथी. ग्रैंडमदर नेम्ड द टाइगर कप टिमोथी. Timothy's companion were Toto the monkey and small mongrel puppy. He was brought up entirely on milk given of him feeding bottle by their cook Muhammad. But later he was put on diet raw mutton and cod liver oil. It was followed by tasty pigeons and rabbits. Next, number 3. Next, number 3. Why did grandfather decide to transfer Timothy to a zoo? Answer. When Timothy was about 6 months old, he grew less friendly. Sometimes at night, the family would hear the frightening crackling from the poultry house. In that morning, the feathers of the chicks were found scattered all over the veranda. Timothy had to be chained up more often, so grandfather decided to transfer Timothy to a zoo. Next, number 4. What things did grandfather do at the cage when he visited the zoo? About 6 months later, when the writer grandparents were visiting relatives in Lucknow, grandfather seized the opportunity of calling of the zoo about Timothy's new life there. Arriving at the zoo, grandfather went straight to the cage in which Timothy had been locked up. The tiger was there, crouched in a corner, full grown with a huge striped coat. Next, number 5. How did the tiger react to the grandfather's activities? Answer. Grandfather climbed the fence of wire, easily put his arms through the bars of the cage. The tiger ran towards the bars and allowed grandfather to put both hands around his head. Grandfather stroked the tiger's forehead and ticked the tiger's ear. Whenever the tiger growled, Grandfather gave a sharp slap across the mouth. The tiger licked grandfather's hand and only reeled back when a leopard in the next cage snarled at him. Next, number 6. Grandfather was surprised. Question: what made grandfather become too sad and what happened to him in the end? Answer: grandfather was surprised when he came to know that tiger with whom he had so much affection and love was indeed Timothy. He grew so sad knowing that his pet Timothy died 2 months ago. Timothy had died pneumonia. In the end, still at a loss, withdrew his hand in a shock and stormed out of the cage, wishing a good night to the tiger. Number 7. Can you suggest some more lines to end story a different way? Hearing the keeper's grandfather stood aghast, keeping his face near the tiger still liking his arm. And the old man in the heart of the remorse tinged with emotion made him way out of the zoo. Next question देखिवा स्टेटमेंट ऑफ द कैरेक्टर किए कही काहाकू कही क्लियर आई बिकेम वन ऑफ द टाइगर्स फेवराइट एक किए कही राइटर क्या कही रीडर्स आम मान कही आई एम टॉकिंग टू द टिमोथी किए कही द ग्रैंडफादर क्या कही द कीपर को इट इज नॉट योर टाइगर एक किए कही द कीपर क्या कही ग्रैंडफादर को आई रियलाइज ही इज नो लॉन्गर माइन एक किए कही ग्रैंडफादर क्या द कीपर्स ही डिड 2 months ago एक किए कही द कीपर क्या टू होम ग्रैंडफादर गुड नाइट टिमोथी किए कही ग्रैंडफादर क्या कही द टाइगर नेक्स्ट एक्टिविटी 2 लाइन गुड़ाक एपट सेपट हो सजेक लिखा से देती 9टा लाइन देती कहानी अनुसार को लाइन आगे रहा सीरियल आम लिखा प्रश्नटा सीरियल आम लिखा रीड द फॉलोइंग जम्बल्ड सेंटेंस एंड अरेंज देम प्रॉपर ऑर्डर भूल ऑर्डर लिखा है ठीक ऑर्डर आम सजेक लिखा घटना अनुसार कोटा कापर घटी 9टा सेंटेंस अच्छी देखिए फास्ट घटना अनुसार सजेक लिखा है फास्ट 3टा हम फास्ट 3 लाइन आगे रही टिमोथी वाज डिस्कवर्ड बाय ग्रैंडफादर ऑन द हंटिंग एक्सपेडिशन एंड वाज ब्रॉट होम तापर 2 आस टिमोथी वाज ब्रॉट अप प्रॉपर्ली बाय अट्रैक्टिव एंड गुड डाइट तापर 9 आस Timothy lived happily like one of the members of the writer's family. Next 5 आस when Timothy was about 6 months old a change came over him and he became less friendly and more furious. Next 1 as grandfather took Timothy to a zoo at Lucknow. Next 4 as the zoo authorized we are glad to receive the well-fed and fairly civilized tiger as a gift. Number 6 about 6 months later grandfather visited the zoo to see the Timothy the tiger. Next 8 the keeper said that the tiger had died 2 months before. Number 7 grandfather left the zoo very sadly. In the serial एमती आसो सेंटेंस गुड़ाक ओके जदि एमती सेंटेंस लिख 1 to 9 लिख बहिर प्रश्न अनुसार सीरियलटा अच्छे ओके थैंक्स अष्टम नवम दशम समस्त विषय समस्त टेस्ट पेपर क्वेश्चन आंसर सॉल्यूशन पाइप देखो यूट्यूब चैनल मास्टर सुभाष पुरी ओके थैंक्स।